All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back tonight with Joe, and I'm casting here tonight with Mike. Um,
Hello,
yes, we are
me.
we're gonna be casting some League. Tonight it's UNI Purple Team versus Griz. And yeah, should be pretty good. Um, I'll tell you what, one thing I did forget to do, which I will take care of really quick, uh, is make the on the stream make it so it says Griz. And you and I. But I'll do that. But
All right.
really quick, I'm gonna put up. We're gonna be getting into bans here pretty soon. Both teams saying they're ready, I think. I'm gonna set it so you can see it, Mike.
Perfect.
And I'll set it so the audience can see. Uh, now there we go. All right. What are your thoughts going into this week, Mike?
They have got Griz. Have to pick or ban Rakan. We can't keep playing the same tune over and over again. Every single week, we keep saying the same thing. It's the same results. I think what we said last week has to happen this week, where it's great to try and target backlit, but maybe start targeting the other lanes and switch it up from what other teams have been doing.
I think I really got to agree with you there, Mike. Every week we kind of see um, the team that we're playing against have a
Mm-hmm.
tendency to focus on UNI's mid lane. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's because they do see
There it
that
is.
what the Rakan ban.
They're gone, man. Mm-hmm.
Grizz does ban the Rakan straight away with that Ziggs, but yeah, every week we see um, most teams just try to do their best to mitigate the damage that backlit by stars does in the mid lane, and it
Mm-hmm.
ends up not generally working in their favor.
Yeah.
But we'll
Well, I,
see, huh?
I think banning certain mid laners, sometimes as a mid laner, if you know you're going against a strong mid laner, there are certain picks that you definitely don't want to be against. I understand that, but the Rakan ban, it was a picker ban. I think I was pretty sure it was going to happen, but now that it has, it just kind of puts into practice what we've been saying this whole time. But like we've been saying, can't ban them all. So we'll have to see how UNI responds here.
That is true. Looks like UNI is gonna be
Oh.
banning away Zyra, Rumble, and Trundle, which I think are interesting choices. And Grizz is
Mm-hmm.
gonna pick up a Maokai first. What do you think about that Maokai pick?
Maokai it's a safe top lane. It's a good jungle. Haven't really seen it played support, but it's just a very well-rounded pick. It's really hard to go wrong. It's really hard to be caught in a bad spot as Maokai. Early game is fine for him. Late game's pretty good. He's got a lot of peel for his team. He's got a lot of engage, a lot of tank to stay in the fight. So pretty well-rounded pick. Pretty safe.
Yeah, I gotta agree. That engage that he can do with his ult, especially if
Oh
it's a
yeah.
jungle Maokai, it's pretty hard to play against because he can cast it from pretty far away and it'll speed up and be very big and hard to dodge. But we are gonna see you and I go with a Kane pick and a Syndra pick for the mid lane, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that Syndra pick is gonna go really hard this game. I've had to play against a couple Syndras the last couple of days, and in my own games, and she is really strong, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Backlit's going to tear it up on the Syndra.
Definitely. Um, like I was saying earlier, he can't ban them all. I'm really surprised to see Ziggs ban over like a Syndra, because personally, I mean, I think I'd be more fine with the Ziggs than a Syndra. She just does so much damage, so quick. You get late game her passive getting online. It's just It's crazy.
Yeah. And we are gonna see an Aurelion Sol pick and a Cassante
Okay.
pick from Griz. So I'm betting that Griz is gonna be playing a little bit more for the late game.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be pretty tough for UNI because Maokai, Cassante, and Aurelion Sol can
Ooh,
put on a nasty team fight, but so can
definitely.
Ornn. So can Ornn.
Yeah. And Ornn, the great thing about Ornn is he's a tank, but he's also a tank buster, which I love playing Ornn. That W just absolutely shreds. So it's really nice to pick into somebody like Cassante, who's going to be building a bit of tank, a bit of hybrid, kind of damagey, but mostly tank. You just start shredding as Ornn. I love the pick. The Jin ban from Nink, or targeting Nink, I should say.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Um,
A lot of these teams lately have not let Nink play Jin at all these games. So
yeah,
interesting to see if they're trying to ban them out or
yeah, I'm
what
interested to
the
see
ban's gonna be.
what's gonna go on.
Mm,
Especially I'm interested to see what Jensel's gonna go with this game because
yeah,
they did ban away his Rakan.
yeah, and a lot of from what I've seen of Nink and Jensel both, it's just kind of comfort, in the bottom lane. Just comfort as an ADC. You just kind of know how your support's playing on a certain character. So obviously you've got more than one champion in your entire pool, but yeah, we'll have to see picks here. The Nami ban. Okay.
Yeah, I think the Nami ban is interesting. Oh, but you and they're gonna go with the
Oh,
Taric. I like that.
I really like the Tarek pick. Yeah, Tarek's pretty darn strong right now.
And
Let's see
plus,
here.
with his ult and his initiate, just I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I guess he's kind of predictable with his E, but but not on himself. Like he can throw his E on like a Kane or an Ornn,
Oh yeah,
and that could really tear up a fight.
yeah. All of a sudden, like a really sticky Kane is just getting one more avenue of CC in this fight. That makes all the difference. Okay, Ezreal, a little bit more
Ezreal's
passive.
a safe pick. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and say I don't know how that's gonna do with their team fight oriented comp in the late
Mm,
game. I feel like Ezreal's maybe their idea, Grizz's idea, and Lux, yeah, they have a really pokey bot lane. I think maybe their idea is to just kind of poke until the Aurelion, Cassante, and Maokai can kind of carry in the late game. But
mm,
I just don't know how much value they're gonna find out of the Ezreal and Lux late game. I mean, the Ezreal,
right.
there's definitely clear value because he's so safe, but
Yeah. No, I get your point here. Would you rather have seen? I mean, when you've got a Maokai and a Cassante as your front line, you almost kind of want to see a hyper carry. I mean, it's always hype to see a hyper carry, but
speaking
um,
of hyper carries, we're
all
gonna see Nick go
right.
with the Vayne this game.
I like it.
I think that's a pretty interesting choice. I think it'll work out.
I think it'll work out just fine. I'm kind of surprised that Nick didn't go for the MF here.
I think a
Uh,
MF would be a mistake here.
you think?
Yeah, because the Cassante is going to be so hard to kill. They need
That's
something
true.
that can
That's
bust the
true.
Cassante, and they need something
Mhm.
with like a little bit more on-demand mobility than Misfortune, who's just fast all the
Then
time.
just eing away and praying. Yeah. Or eing and praying. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you. We've got some very interesting team comps here. And I think you made a very good point earlier. Just keep it safe, bot. Get this Aurelion big. Mid game, he's going to be able to get those big roams across the map to each of these objectives, and then the snowball will build. But we'll see if it can be the snowball can be melted, if you know what I mean.
yeah. I'm not sure if any of the any of the coaches for either team are watching, but if you are interested in sharing your game plan so that we can, I don't know, BS a little bit and talk about it, that'd be cool. Put it in
Yeah,
the put
yeah,
it in the chat. I like reading when the coaches chime in and they say, "Oh, we're trying to do this." So
yeah. It's fun, and then it happens. You go, oh, wow.
yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Looking at the teams here, who do you think a lot of these fights that we've seen these past couple of weeks, these big fights come down to objective fights, right? These big Drake fights, these big Baron fights. Which team do you think has the advantage coming into this game?
I'd say
Not from draft alone.
early game UNI, but as soon as Aurelion Sol starts getting his stuff up, and as soon as Cassante really starts beefing up, I think Griz is gonna have a serious advantage at these Drake and objective fights. Um, we'll see though how it ends up panning out. I know Cassante is, I'm gonna go with and say borderline broken, but maybe I just suck at him. If you don't, if you spend too much time feeding and not actually bulking up, it's really hard to come back from.
Right.
I mean, it's not impossible, but like, I think a lot of this game is actually going to be dependent on how the Syndra Aurelion Sol matchup and how the Ornn Cassante matchup pan out. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
we're gonna see Destroy Dude go with the red cane this game. I feel like it would be quite the misplay to go blue cane, uh,
Agreed. Agreed.
but it's gonna be tough because that means he's gonna be having to gank top a lot, and that might not be
True.
that might not be what he needs, or not even be possible.
Well, Destroy could always look for a little bit of kerfuffle in the or a scuffle in the river with that Maokai. Get some points there as well. Maybe fighting over some scuttles or whatnot. But I mean, it's just so hard when Maokai, he's got all the tools in his kit to get a cane off of you and stand on these objectives, and even not just initiate. That ult, just holding it, is such a huge power play of, is he going to cast it to go in? Is he going to cast it to stall for time? It's a big one.
Yep, we'll see. Really
We'll
quick,
see.
while we have a couple of seconds before I do take a quick break while we wait for the spectator delay, I do want to point out our merch. So if you guys are watching and you haven't heard this spiel before, you're gonna hear it. Merch. If you scroll down and click on merch, it'll bring you to esportsgear.com/collection/university of northern Iowa. There's jerseys, sweatshirts, you name it, beanies. You can customize the jerseys, and they're all for a pretty good price. So if you want to support us, go ahead and do that. And yeah, but we'll be back in a couple of minutes when this game gets underway. With the spectator delay, we do have to wait a little bit, but yeah, we'll be back. Okay, and we're back. Spectator delay is over. Just a second, I will get the stream up for you, Mike, so you can see. We're gonna go into the
Alrighty.
load screen. We can see if anybody's got mastery on their characters.
Mhm.
I love seeing that.
Mhm.
Doody doody doo. Oh, I love me the league client. Okay, there we go. Alright, can you see?
Oh yeah.
Alright, good. So nobody has like a crazy amount of mastery. I mean, got 2 mastery 7s on Kane and Syndra. That's cool. We got one on Lux as well. I don't know, Mike. I really feel like the Ezreal Lux pick, I don't feel like that's going to end up doing that much for Griz this game. I mean, early game, mid game, they're going to poke a lot, but I don't know.
I
And
mean, what your point earlier, I think, is exactly what the game plan is. It's let's stall it out. We're not here to dominate the lane. We're here to make do. Lux will have some utility later in the game, some slows, some binds, whatever, just to get like Cassante and Acel online. I think that is their play.
I also want to point out, I don't know if you noticed, but Nick does have press the attack on Vayne,
Did see that.
so that gives them a little bit more pressure in lane.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my league is frozen. Oh, there we go.
Oh, 0 to 100. There we go. Perfect.
Okay, let's get rid of the time controls here. Alright, and so UNI is going to be on the red side with Griz on blue side this game. We're going to be getting right into it. Both teams are pinging like crazy.
Okay,
Maybe an
look at the
invade.
fan out from both.
And
Here.
both teams are going with a 5-point here. You know, normally it's UNI with the 5-point, and
Uh-huh.
other team kind of just sitting in one spot. We'll see though.
Looks like Maokai is gonna back.
Oh, a little bit of poke damage on that Syndra, just an
Oh.
auto from the Ezreal. Nobody really wants to commit early here, and I think that's
I
a
think
good
that's
idea.
I think it's good for both teams here. I mean, if anybody's gonna come out on top, it'd probably be Kane. Just get a little closer to form, but no, probably not worth this early on.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe Grizz could have been a little bit more aggressive with the Lux and Ezreal there. They do
Mhm.
the poke advantage early. I mean, Lux started E, Ezreal started Q, so maybe. And we saw Ezreal just walk up and auto backlit, but
Right.
we'll see how it goes. Top lane, looks like Cassante went for a little bit of an early ward. We'll see how that pans out in a couple of minutes. Because
I'm gonna
this
say I don't
this ward
know
is
if
gonna
it'll be
die.
here. Yeah, it'll
It's
be.
gonna.
They won't be there by the time Destroy gets up there, right?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. And maybe they're doing it just to see if Cassante started Raptors. Maybe they're thinking he'll go for an early gank on top, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Backlit
I'm
already
curious. Yeah.
stacking up the Syndra passive early. Meanwhile, bot lane, Grizz hit level 2 before you and they are going to go for an all-in, but I don't know. The trade was a little bit rough, both bot laners having to use their potions. And the Lux used the potion too, I think that's interesting. Now she used the biscuit, I think. Yeah, she used the biscuit immediately, just for the mana.
Destroy, by the way. Griz is gonna spot him out here.
Oh man,
Oh,
flash is going out, and they are going to find the pick on Ezreal straight away with his flash ready. That is
Those were amazingly coordinated flashes there.
yeah, you know, Mike, this week and last week, we're seeing Destroy and we're seeing Gensel coordinate incredibly well in these early ganks. 3 minutes in seems to be their power.
Yep.
Their
It's when
power
you least
spike.
expect it, you know? It's like, what is this dude doing in my lane already? Like, don't you have a jungle or something that you need to go attend to? But Destroy's bloodthirsty. No thanks.
And in the top lane, we see Cassante also being bloodthirsty. He is pretty oppressive early if you are not being careful. I mean, I don't know, does his passive still do true damage? Yeah, it does. So every time he hits the enemy with an ability, they're marked and he can auto them for bonus true damage. So since that kind of damage can't be mitigated by resistances, you end up taking a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And you look, the vision
Especially
he
early
had
here.
died,
Yeah.
and he does not see Destroyed's Kane coming in. He is going to blow his ghost to try to live and escape here. He does escape.
Never feels good to blow a ghost like that, though.
Yeah.
Just to run away.
And it looks like Griz, their Maokai is...
Invade action?
Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and take that away.
Sadly enough, though, there's no
UNI
camps here in the bot side.
This is UNI's vision. They have no idea that he's there, but there's no camps for him except for his, except for the Gromp.
I guess Wolves won't be too far behind here as well. Did decide to stay, but
this is a really good invade by Griz because he still has his both of these camps up, the Raptors and the Krug. And he was watching Destroy Dude's Kane top, so he knows he was tracking his farm. He knows how much he had, and they do. UNI does spot him out here really quick. That's gonna be good information for UNI to have. He does go for the condemn, but not able to land the stun. Nice little dodge by Nick there.
Stop the invade from going too far with that ward. Always nice to see.
Okay, Cassante has had to back 2 times so far. He does not have his teleport up this time. I think he might be losing a little bit of XP for that. We'll end up seeing that, the results of that in a couple minutes.
Trying to do maybe a bit of a, I don't know, I wouldn't even call it a cheater recall. Just trying to rush that Sheen in lane as soon as possible, looks like.
In mid lane, Backlit does have a little bit of a CS advantage. We'll see how that turns out in a little bit. It can swing pretty quickly with the Acel. I mean, he just sits there and clears waves, so.
Well, especially now with that lost chapter, that is a big power spike. You don't have to worry about your mana as much anymore. You can kind of spam your spells a little bit more to clear the wave.
Top lane, Drumming was sitting in a bush waiting for Cassante to walk up to the wave, and he does. Okay, really good W usage by Drumming. Is he gonna make it away? He is. Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, Mike, but he used his W, which gave him unstoppable, so that when Cassante ulted him, he wasn't able to take it away.
Pull him with him,
Okay, so he's gonna be going for an ult on the Cassante. The ult does not land. Destroy is there for the follow-up. There is no escape potential for Cassante, and he goes down.
Big clap. I love that brittle passive auto on Warren.
That was
so
a
satisfying.
Big clap. And we're gonna see in mid lane, Backlit is gonna be engaged on by the Aurelian who uses his ult, but Backlit is able to just get away.
Great flash under tower by Backlit there. Dragged the Maokai along for the ride. Forcing flash out of Maokai. I mean, all things considered, flash for a flash is not too bad.
Yeah, and
still not done. We're
Backlit
still not done.
He knows Maokai is level 4. He knows he can beat this, and he just does the combo. He ends up ulting him and just kills, get a free pick on the Maokai just like that.
Yeah, well, when you're 3 levels above the jungler, that is crazy how much damage you're going to be doing there.
Well, I like he followed her into the jungle.
Yeah.
You know. Oh.
Bot waves getting pushed in beside Griz.
So it looks like
nothing too crazy.
I can't see who is doing the pings, but I can see that it was blue team. Yeah. So Griz, they are guessing where Kane is. They're guessing correctly. They pinged. We don't know where he is. Question mark on each of these 3 camps. And Griz's bot lane are gonna take heed of that warning and just go ahead and back. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, definitely a good call. And bot lane is just turned into a controlled slugfest here. Nothing too out of hand, just a little poke here and there. Kind of what we expected.
Yeah, both bot laners pretty even with each other.
Pretty even, but that turret gold fixes into it, you know? It becomes a factor rather than Lux just having the gold on herself.
Cassante and Ornn having a little
man.
lover spat again. Yeah, see, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of Cassante's power just comes with how fast he can use his ult and all of his abilities right after he ults. It's like crazy burst for a tank.
You can combo into it as the tank form and then go into your assault form. I don't know the actual name, but...
All out.
Okay, thanks for letting me know, Joe.
All out. I'm going all out on Cassante. Oof.
Oh.
Okay, good thing he wasn't under turret there
low,
for
yeah.
that aggro. Destroy dude walking
Destroy
into
is
a little
walking
bit of a 1v2.
into a trap.
Yeah. They saw him coming, but he did not see them. This Maokai ult is going to stop backlit. There's nothing he could do except try to live. Drumming though, looking for an Ornn ult. They're catching out the Maokai. Really good Ornn ult. They're going to see the flash Q by Kayn, and they are going to find the kill on the Syndra. So UNI not giving away the Rift Hilt for free there, as they make the score 1-4.
Definitely. Troy turning the tables. Well, more like drumming turning the tables, but
Ooh.
Forcing the flash. I mean, that Tarky, when you've got a Tark just walking at you so bold, I mean, there's only so much you can do with such low mobility on the side of Griz here, at least for Lux.
So Mike, as we're 10 minutes in here, and we are going to be shifting out of the early game within the next few minutes, what are some of the thoughts you have?
I'm watching here. I don't know. I think everything we're saying about this bot lane is holding true. I mean, they're holding their own, but it's for the side of Griz, it's nothing too oppressive. It just kind of is there, right? We're not seeing the same kind of pressure, and if Griz was looking for these carries in other lanes here, then they're getting a little bit outmaneuvered by UNI at the moment. Trying to make things happen and getting shut down pretty much at every turn here, especially their Maokai.
Yeah, and I don't mean it.
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say this early. But yeah.
UNI are doing a little bit of clown shenanigans here. They are looking for the 4-man bot, the 4v3. Backlit going for the roam, getting the stun on the Lux, ulting Lux, not able to get the kill, but Maokai responds with his own ult. They aren't able to get the kill. They do find the kill on the Lux, by the way, in there. Oh, but Nick finding a Maokai sapling, almost going down. How much health is he at? He's at like 20 health. That's crazy. UNI just picking up another kill here. Not committing too hard to go for another one. Maybe baiting out the Maokai for this extra kill. We'll see. Kayn is stepping on wards. Destroy dude. But Griz don't know where he went. They don't know where the Syndra went either. They do find her with the sapling.
I was gonna say earlier in that fight, that first strike damage with Syndra is massive.
Yeah.
That first strike, like literally got the kill there. Well, obviously the combo, but the first strike really just cinched it there.
Yeah, we are gonna see replay DK from Griz decide to drop the Rift Hilt he picked up earlier on this bot turret. He's gonna keep applying the pressure. Lux QR is gonna go out, but Nick does not die to it. And Destroy did take the scuttle earlier, so UNI will know whether or not Griz goes for the Drake here. And it looks like they're not, and they're just gonna go ahead and back. I think this is interesting because UNI gets cryo off of this.
Ooh, top lane is looking a little dire.
Oop. Let me go back.
Yeah, this is where Cassante is just starting to shred.
You see, just look at all
Man,
of that damage. That's crazy.
Wow. It's like I'm watching Earth or something.
Yeah. And in the meantime, nothing crazy happened bot. It seems more plays were trying to be made, but Nothing happened. Kane, Destroy Dude, did go for a back, and it did end up giving prio to Griz for this Drake here, but UNI knows, and they're looking for it. Let me open up the time controls and just make sure I'm at the present here. There we go.
Alright. I don't know about aggroing this Drake right here.
I don't know. I think it's a good idea to just aggro it and walk away.
See what happens.
Because the Drake will reveal where the enemies are.
True. UNI has the numbers advantage here. You just take the scuttle and come back to fight another day.
Both teams really want this Drake, Mike. I think we're going to see
I
something
don't-
explode here soon.
I don't
Okay, so
blame 'em.
Maokai, yeah, he is going to go on Jensel. Lux looking for the Q on Jensel.
Ooh.
They don't find it. Nick finishing off that scuttle really quick. They know. UNI knows, and so does Griz. Both teams want to fight. UNI is going to opt for this prio in the top of the river here. Make Griz walk into them is what they're saying.
I was gonna say here is Asol. So finally rotated out of the mid lane.
Lux does find a combo on
Griz is
Jensel.
just gonna go for it.
Yeah, the Griz is able
They're
to melt it with the
shredding
Aurelion Soul.
Asol.
They do find the kill on the Drake.
Oh, backlit
Maokai
is
and Aurelion Soul ult going out on backlit. He was caught, but he's able to get away. Jensel's Taric ult is going down, and he's going to live, but Destroy has to flash over the wall to live there. A little bit of a disaster for UNI, but they are still up in gold, even though they gave over the neutral objective. We'll see what happens here. If Drumming's able to get some damage here on this guy or push out the wave.
yeah, but look, Sante just goes, I don't care that you're here, man. I'm taking this turret.
Oh, and he's taking...
Here comes the ult.
Yeah, he's taking Drumming's life too. It's not just going to be the turret, it's going to be Drumming that goes down. There's nothing he can do. He's got no mana. He's got no flash. He's caught.
Oh,
Oh man, and so is Backlit. And just like that, the Caster's Curse.
the caster's curse and yeah.
The gold is even now.
The gold is even as we're looking towards this Herald. That Aurelion is shredding these neutral objectives here. Him and Maokai just sticking on it is just... Who needs an ADC when you've got an Aurelion Soul?
So we are going to see UNI's bot lane head mid lane here. I think this is interesting. We'll want to see if they end up staying in mid, because it is 17 minutes in. It's about time they could, you know, they did lose their turret. It's time to go mid. We'll send Syndra into the bot lane to start giving her some prio with the solo farm and XP. We'll see though.
See, I mean, one misstep here into an Asol E and a Maokai there, Jensel and Nig could be in some real trouble.
You're right. Oh, Nick finding a little bit of a condemn on Ezreal. Not gonna be finding a kill though. Ezreal knows he doesn't have to blow his E straight away there.
Yeah.
Unless it was on cooldown, but I don't think it was.
Interesting in these matchups here. Drumming on Orin against the Asol and Backlit trying to duke it out with Cassante
but
here.
he doesn't know that Cassante knows. Look at, he's walking into the vision here now. Almost fell victim to that little bit of an alcove strat by the Cassante on Griz. Close but no cigar.
Oops. You can't say that. Riot doesn't like that.
Well, oh yeah, they'll remove the cigar. My bad. Oh my goodness. Looks like Backlit found a kill on the Lux there. Where did she die? I don't know. Not gonna go back for it, but
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, I
kind of blew her up.
Yeah, I was watching on the map as Maokai and Backlit were kind of had bid at the same time there. Gets the safety.
Most of the gold is, I don't know. The leads are relatively all over the place. So
Dante does have a 2K gold lead on the Ornn.
that's true.
A little under, but rounding up. And there's Herald number 2.
UNI are
Barely saving the turret here.
they're trying to find a pick on the Maokai, but they're not able to find it. UNI down about 600 gold from Griz here. They're gonna have to make something happen while they still can.
Drumming's got to be careful here. Dante's heading up back up top.
Uh-oh, Cassante
Oh yeah,
knows.
here comes Chase.
Yeah, he knows you've got no mana, Drumming. And Cassante has Ghost up. He ghosts at him. He runs him down. He's just got his Q, and he doesn't even need to ult.
No.
Just queuing him over and over.
Wow.
Down goes the Ornn.
Drake's coming up very soon here as the first tier turret goes down for UNI. That being said, Griz's tier 1 turret mid is not looking too healthy either, so maybe UNI might just have to look for a trade of turrets here rather than contest this Drake, but it looks like they want the fight.
I don't know if they're gonna get there in time.
A little too late, yeah.
It's gonna be second Drake over to Griz. It's gonna be an Ocean Soul coming up here. I think that could be very good for UNI, but I think it would be pretty devastating to have on the Maokai, Cassante, and Aurelion Soul in the late game.
Definitely.
That'd be really bad to play against.
Yeah. I mean, Cassante hardly takes any damage as is.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, Cassante gonna go for the ult on backless Syndra.
Oh!
Syndra does have to flash away to try to survive. Oh my god, and he's still taking so little damage while he has half of his health and no resistances. That's crazy. Is it
A large shutdown for Destroy, though. 700 gold.
Yeah. They are going to find the chase here on the Aurelion Soul, who did TP down to try to save him. Jensel coming in for the collapse from above.
Man.
Lux Q ult going down. Aurelion Soul ult going down. Ezreal ult also going out. Nobody's on UNI is going to go down. Actually, my bad. I spoke too soon. Kayn goes down. We're going to see Tatarik ult go down, but Tatarik ult doesn't land in time as Griz is going to wipe the floor with UNI here.
Yeah. That E from Aurelion is so oppressive. Chasing him, it takes up the entire entrance to that jungle path to mid. The ult combined and the execute. UNI just couldn't find damage.
Finding the pick on the Aurelion Soul there. They do get exhausted. Anders looking to do as much as he can. Get them off of that Baron while he can. Cassante teleported that Baron to try to help his team get it. Oh my god.
A pick here.
A pick by Anders. This dude's crazy.
He's crazy.
And he gets away with it.
Saved the Baron. Got a couple kills along the way. Can't ask for more than that. Griz still does have the gold lead, even though being behind in kills. Those objectives are just feeding them gold here.
Yeah. And plus, I don't know, I feel like no, they haven't gotten a shutdown on Syndra. Anders has to be careful. Giving away that shutdown would be pretty bad for UNI at this point. They are in a precarious spot where they are down 500 gold and 2 objectives. Any kind of leeway that they give Griz, they are going to run with it.
I'm curious to see here, Joe. We haven't really seen a big team fight where Jensel and Mink have been able to play off each other. Haven't really seen the full potential of this combo yet, so I'm curious to see if we can see it here.
Yeah, we will see.
Although
Although
some of these objectives.
UNI are going to find a pick potentially on this Maokai. As Maokai ult and Aurelion Soul ult go down, Nick is going to get burned out. He does die because Kayn lives by going inside of the Aurelion Soul until he dies. Unfortunate for UNI, they do lose 2 over that little fight. Wonder if there was some miscommunication with Drumming getting him there soon enough, but I don't know. as Griz is going to be going for the Baron power play again. We'll see if Backlit's able to get there in time with the Syndra to stop it, as Drumming is doing his best to slow them down on Ornn right now. He does get them off of it. They are going to be forced to try to fight him or run away, and they are going to be getting caught. See Maokai Q shoving Ornn away, Lux Q rooting the Ornn. Man, and UNI is doing a really good job of not just giving up this Baron, but they can't just be giving up kills at the same time. They are down now 2,000 gold. That's six.
Meanwhile, alright. Meanwhile, Cassante was wailing away on that bot turret. Does not have TP, so no potential to join that fight. But
Anders does find a little bit of a turret in the mid lane, helping UNI get back in the game. There's no objective bounties, so they don't get as much gold as they would if they were like really losing, but
yeah.
UNI does have Baron warded up like crazy, and Griz does not really. They just have the scuttle.
I think Griz is gonna posture for Baron here.
They're posturing.
Or Drake. Sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, they're trying to catch Destroy's Kayn, but it's not gonna work. They do have some vision in UNI's jungle, but for the most part, they can't tell where most of UNI are. UNI wants this fight. Ornn is spamming on my way. He's teleporting in. They are not able to find it, but Griz does end up finding the Ezreal ult and Lux ult combo on that Kayn. That poke damage was too much, and he had no one to hide inside of. But Backlit finds the Syndra kill on the Ezreal. That's going to be pretty important in this fight. I don't know. Aurelion Sol's dishing out so much damage with that Q, but so is Syndra. Staying alive here. Cassante needs to go for Syndra, and he is. Meanwhile, at the same time, Aurelion Sol goes for Nick and kills him. Oh man. It's now Drumming and Backlit versus the Maokai and the Aurelion. Are they going to be able to find these picks? Looks like they do find the pick on the Aurelion. Backlit playing out of his mind this game. And Maokai's just going to be forced to walk away. A lot of stuff happened in that fight.
It is.
Oh my god. And Anders is looking for this pick on the Maokai. He finds him farming. He knows that he's going to be over here or he's going to be backing. He found him. It's greedy to go for
ult on Syndra quite yet.
He doesn't need it.
Backlit will need it.
That was a really good call by Backlit to know that he'd be doing a camp or be backing, and to go
trying to heal up maybe. Or,
go take a look, and he did find him when he went to take a look. This Lux not going to be finding the steal on the Drake. Really good job by UNI picking up that Drake, as they do go back to having a gold lead by about what, 500-600 gold. So
yep. Well, just even having one Drake under your belt as UNI has to feel so good after not having a ton of control over these objectives. Just getting one is just the start.
Yeah. And Nick does have his Rage Blade now. I don't think he had it before that fight. If he did, that's my bad. But I know that he hasn't had it. And so I think that's going to change the dynamic of UNI's team fighting a little bit. Maybe Nick will be able to find a little bit more value in these fights with the Vayne. Cassante is going to be pushed pretty far up, and we'll see if UNI is able to realize that he is this far up and catch him out. But they are not. I'm glad that they're not too, because Baron is up and Griz is posturing for it with the Maokai and the Aurelion Sol in the river. And Ezreal and Lux to boot.
I was gonna ask, as Nink, if you were in his shoes right now, would you consider buying a Bork just for Cassante and Maokai here?
Yeah. Okay, that Condemn is gonna land on the Ezreal. Nick doing his best to survive the poke from Ezreal and Lux. He is able to survive, but the Maokai ult is going to be going down, forcing him out of the fight. Jensel doing his best to survive as well. Kayn coming in to help here. Syndra did have to back off. Or, no, Syndra didn't back off. Syndra just got dove by Cassante. I was trying to point that out.
I think that might just be Baron for Griz.
I think that's going to be Baron as well. We'll go back and watch what happened in bot lane. Okay, so Backlit did go for the QE combo on Cassante, but he goes for the Ghost Q3 onto Backlit, and he ults immediately The Zonius comes out by backlit, but it's not enough. And he does get that massive
Giant
shutdown.
shutdown.
We go back to the present, and we do see that Griz did just take the Baron from UNI.
I don't see you helping out. I'm the scythe, idiot.
It's gonna be tough for UNI here.
Hey, what is UNI? How are they coming back from this? Drake fights? I don't know. A lot of these team fights have not gone in UNI's favor, and I think it's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah, I think for UNI to come back here, they do have to just turtle up, wait for this Baron to go out. You know, maybe find a pick here or two, a pick or two here and there, like on this Lux here. Maybe they can find a pick where Griz does not have a lot of backup, a lot of resistance. Because as soon as the fight's going too long, Cassante is just gonna wear people down, and Aurelion Sol is just going to melt. So I don't know. Yeah, I think UNI's just got to look for picks here and there and try not to die. Backlit is going to be looking for a pick on the Maokai, but he steps a little bit too far forward. Gets the kill on the Ezreal, but Cassante is also getting caught right now. He did try to go for the pick here. Oh, he finds a second kill. Really big plays by Backlit. He does end up dying for it, but now it is a 2v4. Will UNI be able to pick this up? They turn it into a 1v4, and Maokai is just going to have to go away and hide in his jungle. Really explosive play there by UNI. I want to go back and watch that.
I was going to say, that flash by Backlit after the Zonias was great. It was, I don't want to be anywhere near this Cassante. Let me go to Lux. I know I can do something over there.
Yeah, that was a really good flash. Does end up finding, yeah, gets the QE on the Lux, ends up killing her. That Aurelion Sol ult though ends up messing him up. I think that's okay though, because if the Aurelion Sol ended up ulting UNI, that would have been pretty bad for him.
Definitely.
Just gonna speed up the present here. Looks like UNI is just gonna siege, picking up a turret out of that kill. So that's what UNI has got to look for. They got to look for 1 or 2 kills, but if they do find a couple of kills, they got to push, push, push.
Push, exactly. This Drake is coming up soon. We'll see if we get a round 2 around the Drake pit here.
I think we will.
Drumming's top with TP.
I think
worries
that's
there.
good. I think that's good.
Yeah.
UNI, oops.
Cassante is bot, but
So this is UNI's vision right now. They don't know where,
knows
they have
out
no
there.
idea where anybody except for Maokai is on the side of Griz. Meanwhile, Griz knows where all of UNI are right now. Going into this fight, Griz do have a little bit of an advantage.
Backlit is not with them.
No, this is a classic of last week. He's just going in and pushing. I think this is okay. Kane is alive. He can go for the steal here. No, he's not able to get the steal. And that's going to be
It's another shutdown though.
3 people down on UNI.
Shut down.
But they trade the Drake and a couple of kills for an inhib. I think that's worth, especially because it's the mid inhib. Gives you a lot of agency to do whatever you want all over the map. Backlit by Stars, finding an explosive kill on the Aurelion Sol. He's going to have to run for his life though, as Maokai W's into the Ornn, trying to find a sapling to slow him. Slow this Syndra down and catch her out here. Ornn is just going to be taking damage, shrugging it off, running away.
Oh, close.
Almost finding a pick on that Lux. Meanwhile in bot lane, Griz Ezreal, he's just pushing, trading inhib for inhib. And now, all of a sudden, UNI's play is very not worth. Jensel trying to find a pick on the Ezreal here. Ezreal having to blow his flash as Jensel exhausts him. Meanwhile, top lane, Drumming is not done yet. He is going to be trying to fight this Maokai. I think he's going to end up getting caught, though, as members of Griz are closing in on this position. He realizes this fight isn't going to win. Oh, no! But really good play by Maokai there.
Yeah.
Maokai hits that blast plant, so there's no way that Drumming can get out now. Except for his flash, which he blows, but he's still going to end up dying here. Man, he is so tanky. It takes so long to kill him. And just like that, UNI's mid inhib play is no longer worth. I don't know why. I don't know.
Completely nullified there.
I don't know what happened to Drumming to cause him to not back there, but I think that was not good for UNI.
Yeah.
I think they could have realized the Ezreal push a little bit sooner and maybe backed off instead of looking for the pick on the Lux. but
Right.
I don't know.
At this point, you've got your turrets. You've got the turret advantage as UNI, so keeping your turrets alive and maintaining that is crucial. Just a
Yeah.
little bit of an oversight there.
I don't know who UNI is going to send to deal with bot lane. Probably the Ornn. Someone's got to... It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
Yep.
Their super minions are going to be a pain, a thorn in UNI's side with this Baron coming up. It sucks to be in the position UNI is in because this is a serious pressure that UNI have to respond to across the map from Baron, which is also serious. Yeah. But at the same time here, Gentle's going to be finding a route on the Maokai, but he ends up having to fight Aurelion Sol. He bit off a little bit more than he could chew there as it turns into a 4v5 for this Baron that's coming up. I wish I could see the timers, but Baron is up.
I don't know if UNI's got any point of contention here other than Destroy trying to steal.
The Kayn, man. The Kayn, maybe he can do it.
The Kayn potential. Trying to keep him at an arm's length here, though.
Oh, man. Backlit doing so much damage, forcing out 2 Zhonyas from Griz.
And 2 flashes.
Backlit, Syndra finding the pick on the Aurelion Sol. Massive pick in the middle of this team fight. Aurelion Sol does end up getting the Baron for his team. Griz has the Baron here. Oh man, there's so much going on. He does, he lives. Oh, the Cassante though. Backlit isn't done yet, he's still alive, but he's gonna get ghosted at by the Cassante. He's got no choice but to just try to run for his life right now. Maybe Destroy or Drumming can get a pick here. Oh no, that Gargoyle's proc from the Cassante. He's just too much shield.
Too much shield. I hear that, brother.
Yeah, that was not terrible for UNI, but not great either.
No.
Only 2 members of Griz have this Baron. We'll see what they're able to do with it. What are your thoughts going into the late game? Like, we are in the late game here.
Man, this is hard because UNI is showing that they're not going to roll over, right? They're trying their best at these objective fights. The problem is, you take out one, the other's going to be on you, right? So Backlit is trying to get some picks on some of these carries, but Asol is getting that damage, consistent damage, and Cassante is just ghosting and ulting and doing whatever he can to try to get to Backlit and some of the more crucial members of UNI. I don't know. I think the Cassante's got to go if UNI has any chance, but I mean that's much easier said than done in a lot of these team fights. He is so tanky. I think once he's gone, there is so much potential for UNI.
UNI are looking for a little bit of a pick here. They do find it on the Lux again.
One less Baron on the map.
Yep. Meanwhile, top lane, Cassante is going to be going on the Ornn here. Poking him and pushing him under his turret, using the Baron, trying to get this inhib turret. I think they're going to get the inhib turret.
Yeah.
Drumming's doing his best to survive.
Get the inhib.
Yeah, I think they're going to get the inhib as well. The Ornn ult going down, hitting 2 members of Griz. Syndra is here to follow up. Maokai ult stopping UNI in their tracks. The inhib is still up right now. UNI does force them off of it. Meanwhile, who is this TP from? UNI is taking the Drake. There's a double TP! The Aurelion and the Cassante go at the same time, but UNI is able to find the Drake. Oh, Ornn came too! He TP'd as well, but he's just going to be running away. I think that's a good call by Drumming to try to get out of there. And they're going to try to find the pick on the Maokai maybe, but it's not going to work. Aurelion still comes flying in. Cassante also comes jumping over the wall. He's too tanky, but Ornn is just going to get melted here. Unfortunate for Ornn, Drumming did try to come and rescue Destroy Dude, but it wasn't enough. Meanwhile, Ez getting a cheeky split again on UNI. Griz is really good at getting these side waves, these side lanes, the inhibs away from UNI.
Yeah, and Griz is great. Once they expose it, it's gone, right? It happened bot lane. Cassante slowly whittled away at those turrets, and just over time, there was no longer an inhib. Same thing top.
UNI needs to find value out of this Vayne sometime soon, or else they are going to lose. Right now, Vayne is 0-4-5. She's just got a bounty from farm. I'm pretty sure she's doing damage in the fights, but it's hard to tell. There's a lot going on. But like I don't know, it's tough because there's so many things that Vayne needs to dodge. She's got to dodge the Lux E and Q. She's got to dodge the Ezreal Q and R. She's got to dodge the Aurelion Sol E and R. And meanwhile, she has to keep track of the Cassante and Maokai, who got her number the entire time. So it's just really tough to be an ADC in games like this.
Yeah. A lot of these fights too, I'm seeing going into it. I don't know if Jensel's just a little bit farther out than they would like, but I've seen more than once Jensel getting caught out here. Or dying before the ult completely goes off for the entire team of UNI, which is a huge utility in these fights, just not being able to be utilized.
So, looks like 4 members of Griz are just going to be running it down mid, sending Cassante to go for this inhib bot, leaving it to just Vayne and Jensel. Nick and Jensel got to stop that Cassante or kill him before he finds his team. It's not going to matter though. It looks like a little bit of a fight going to be going down in UNI's base. I don't know if Griz wants to take this fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they don't want to take it either.
Pretty
The
split
Ezreal!
right now.
Dude, backlit by stars just melted that Ezreal and he got the Guardian Angel out. Meanwhile, the Maokai ult is going to be going down. The Aurelion Sol ult, big, going down. Going to be hitting some members of UNI, but it's not enough to get a kill. Looks like Griz really is not, like, is like semi wanting it, but they're not committing to it.
Full commit.
The Cassante is just waiting. He knows
I
he
think
can
they're
just stay.
buying time.
He's full build, you can just chill down there. If UNI goes for the Baron, he is able to get this inhib, and his TP is going to be up. I can't see when, but
Relatively soon.
it's in
here.
5 seconds. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is rough for UNI. They're going to be put into a position where someone on UNI has to answer this Cassante's push. Drumming's TP is not up for another 30 seconds, but the Baron is up now in like 10 seconds. So we'll see. Drumming is going to be the man to stop Cassante, but with his life, we'll see. Nick is there to help. Meanwhile, at the Baron fight, oh man, I'm not going to cast that. The Nick Vayne is just trying his best to live to the Cassante, who's just killing Vayne. But they do find the pick on the Cassante, which is massive for this fight. A second ago, Backlit did find a pick on the Ezreal, so it's now a 3v4 for this Baron. Maokai ult going down. Not going to find anybody on UNI, but Backlit is behind Griz Esports. Trying to, I don't know if they're Griz Esports, but they are trying to find a pick here going in.
I think it's UNI. You have to force this. Cassante's down.
Yeah, you do have to force this.
Push them off. This has got to be it.
This has got to be it. It's do or die for UNI, and they are choosing to do. And you know, earlier you were saying UNI has been putting up a fight all game, and they have been. It seems like Griz has had a pretty commanding position in this game, doing what they want when they want it, as we're seeing right now. Aurelion Sol using his ult, trying to find a pick on the Syndra. She uses her Zhonya's to live, but Maokai is going to be going down for it. As UNI end up having to back off of this Baron, I don't think that they need to. I think that they can force it still, because Griz doesn't have a jungle.
The issue is, take a look, Joe. Sol point is right now.
That's true. So they are going to immediately jump off of it, go straight to the Dragon here, which is spawning. You're right, Mike. That was a better call to just forget about the Baron for now. Go for the Soul Point.
Yeah, we can wait out the Baron. We can't wait out Soul Point. That's
You're right. Right now, UNI is postured to stop any invaders, to stop the Drake, but they are not going to go for it. UNI doesn't know that most members of Griz are on the Baron. They are going to realize quite rapidly, though, as they see Cassante going for this ward here. Dropping's going to be coming over, and I think we're going to be having a fight over this Baron. Nobody's going to have time to reset. Kane wants to, but he's not going to be able to. He's got a 2,700 gold in his pocket to spend.
Also, Inhib is back up topside for UNI, so that's going to free up Drumming in a lot of ways here.
UNI is going to force them off of Baron, go for a quick reset here. Interesting.
I mean, with this Baron still up, you've just got to play so fluid. You've just got to read the movements of everybody, get your wards down, play around it, but
yeah,
hard to match when you don't know where the biggest problem I would say right now Cassante is at.
Yep. So Cassante did just back and pick up his dead man, so he's gonna be full build going into this fight, and so is Syndra. I think they're the and yeah, I think they're the only ones that are full build. Yeah.
Looks like Destroy is getting pretty darn close though.
He is. He has been scaling up there on the Ornn. That's pretty big. UNI posturing for this Baron. They do have the Prio right now, but they will be forced off with this Maokai ult and Aurelion Sol ult combo. It's going to be tough. You see...
Yeah, a lot of these jungle fights, I don't know if UNI wants to...
Okay, there's the Ornn ult, Mike.
Hard, but
the Ornn ult goes down. It finds the
you're
knockup.
going to commit!
Finds the knockup on Maokai. Meanwhile, Cassante is getting zoned off. Cassante wants to go in on UNI, but they are just doing a great job zoning him off, but not good enough as he's going to be able to walk away. They're not going to find a pick. Aurelion is forced out of the fight. UNI is going to realize this. They are going to go straight for the Baron, but Griz isn't going to give it up yet. The Maokai ult goes down. It's going to catch 3 members of UNI. Cassante uses his ghost. He's coming in from the side. Who is he going to ult take out of this fight? Cassante starting. The Taric ult is looking. The Taric ult, all 5 members of UNI are invulnerable right now. They find the pick on the Maokai, but the Aurelion Sol with his E. Oh my god, UNI is just getting melted. There's the Cassante ult on the Ornn. Backlit by Stars doing his best to survive to the Cassante right now. Meanwhile, Destroy is trying to survive on Kayn. Backlit does end up going down. And drumming is going to be going down to the Cassante as well here. There's nothing that he can do. He just does too much damage, too fast.
Yeah, I mean, Aurelion Sol behind Baron Pit, that fight, just waiting for the opportune moment, ginormous ult coming out.
Yeah. Pretty devastating.
Oh. Alright.
It looks like Griz is going to find an inhib here, probably a Nexus turret, as UNI's next member, Jensel, isn't up for another couple more seconds. Drumming is forced to defend this alone. He is going to find the knockup. Griz is going to find the Nexus turret, but Jensel's up. Jensel gets the stun. Cassante's too tanky. He's running away. They're looking for the pick on the Lux. They find it.
Oh, nice.
Ezreal is trying to run away now. The Shurelya's comes out from Jensel. They do find... Oh, never mind. Ezreal used his jump and jumped away. The arcade shift. As Griz now is a little bit stronger positioning for Baron. Will they be going for it? I don't know. UNI knows that they want it. They're going to be sending all 5 members running through the jungle as fast as they can to try to stop it. Oh. Okay. UNI stopping Cassante's back. I think that's important here.
Yeah,
if they want to go for this Baron, Cassante's back does need to be stopped because Cassante right now is looking to reset and teleport back in. UNI are going to be able to find the Baron power play. I think that could be what they need to survive in this game a little bit longer. Oh, that simultaneous 5-man back. That is satisfying.
Beautiful. I was gonna say pretty soon here, this is the Drake to determine the game here.
Yeah, I think this fight at Drake is gonna be the one to winner of this fight wins the game.
Yeah.
Because UNI's got nothing to stop if all 5 people push from Griz. This inhib wave, or these supers are gonna push all the way in. But on the other hand, UNI does have the Baron buff to zoom through Griz's base. No matter who wins this game, it was a well-played game by both teams. We'll see here as UNI starts the Drake, having a little bit of a vision advantage on Griz. We're going to see the Ornn ult go down, the Maokai ult, and the Aurelion Sol ult. Aurelion Sol ult didn't go down yet, but now it does. It's going to be devastating for UNI as it's all stacked up. UNI losing the Taric. UNI gonna be losing the Vayne. Yep, there goes Vayne. Meanwhile, Kayn and Ornn are able to get out. Backlit finding another pick on the Aurelion Sol. So it's going to be a 4v3 right now. Backlit running for his life, getting his back stopped by these two. Trying to preserve his Baron buff. Ezreal EQing over the wall. Or QEing. Oh, the Ezreal. Oh, the flash! Oh my god, the fancy feet. Is he going to be able to get out of here? Look at this.
Oh
Look
my
at this,
gosh!
the
Here
great
comes-
escape.
Here comes the ghost. Kasante, he's gonna give up.
Meanwhile, Destroy was
Oh,
trying to survive, trying to help him
Troy was
survive.
trying.
Gonna be finding 3 members of Griz. In the process, will he get out? I don't think so. Maokai W's to him, goes through the wall. Then Maokai ult goes out again. The cooldown on that is insane. What is that, 53 seconds? I can't believe
I
Maxwell lived.
cannot believe.
We need to go back. We need to go back and watch the fancy feet. Okay, check this out. Ezreal had a really good play, but it wasn't good enough. Oops. Okay, so Ezreal WQEs over the wall. The Q misses. Backlit gets the QE on Ezreal and Zhonya's, but Ezreal tries to get the ult. But look at that! That flash and that Q on him and
Q.
flashes
I would
away.
not be
But then it's
taking
not
the
over
Q
yet.
there.
It's I know it's
Oh
not
my
over yet.
God.
He dodges the Lux ult, but paths back towards this way, knowing that Kasante was coming for him, and he does end up getting out. That's crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought to Q flash like that, Q on top of that guy and flash away. As you're finding a pick on him here, as we go to cut to the future, as we're finding 2 picks on UNI. Interesting. I don't know what they're gonna be able to do with that though.
That might be game.
We'll see.
Look at these death timers here, Joe.
45
50
seconds.
seconds
50
is
seconds.
a lot of time.
That is a lot of time. Nick, if you're gonna do something on Vayne, now is the time. Uh-oh, I don't think he can. Oh,
No.
he's got no condemn for the Aurelion Soul flying at
Do a
him. The
little-
Aurelion Soul ends up using his Zhonya's, and that's going to be game 1 for Griz, I'm pretty sure. Because Destroy is top, or excuse me, Drumming is top. There's no way that he's going to be able to back with Maokai on his face. As all 4 members of Griz hit UNI's Nexus. That's going to be game 1 for Griz.
Wow.
That was crazy.
What a wave of emotions that entire game. So many of those fights. It was, I was going into it thinking that it was gonna turn out one way, and it just was the complete opposite. I just kept getting thrown for a loop.
Really quick here, take a look at the damage charts. Kasante doing more damage than his entire team, doing more damage than Aurelion Soul. If you want to
Wow.
talk about things that are probably not the most balanced, it is that. But what do I know? I don't know. The Syndra does a
I'm not on-
lot of damage here.
Yeah. Oh man, that is.
That's crazy. What's his CC score? Kasante, or Maokai with 120 CC score.
20.
Kasante 96. Not a lot out of Kane and Tarek at 23 and 23 and 28 respectively. You'd think to see a little bit more out of those two, but I don't know. It's tough.
It's tough, and it was just kind of a tough draft. You were saying like the second that we saw the final draft, it was this mid to late game will be very rough for you and I. That Kasante was just everywhere, not taking any damage, dealing plenty of damage, well rounded out with the Maokai. The A Soul just, there was a fight that A Soul just melted everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
that is rough.
I think UNI needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit this next game, in between
Mhm.
games here. Maybe think about what picks they're going to prio for the bot lane, what picks they might prio for the jungle. I don't know, but the bot lane picks especially did not find a lot of
Yeah.
value out of UNI this game, which sucks.
Yeah.
It's not that Vayne didn't do any damage. She
Right,
did damage. We
right.
can see that she did
Yep.
damage. She didn't do as much as she probably should have, but like, you can't. It's
Yeah.
Aurelion Soul, who has insane range and like insane area denial size. It's Kasante, who has insane like engage and follow up, and it's Maokai, who also has really good engage. So there's not a ton you can do as Vayne,
Right.
because if you decide to go in, then they just use their engage on you and you lose.
Right.
Or you
What
can
do we?
what?
Oh, keep down. I was going to say, what are we thinking for bot lane for game 2 for UNI? What do they need to change? What champs are we looking for? I was going to say I'm kind of surprised that Nick did not choose the Zaya.
Yeah, I think Azaya would have been really a
Draft.
lot of value there
Yeah.
because it would have given them at least some degree of area denial to
Uh-huh.
um, fight back against what's UMT Griz's area denial because that that Aurelion Soul area denial is just crazy late game. He throws down the E, it's bigger than a lane.
It's Yeah, it's crazy. And especially when they're fighting over these objectives, there's only so much space, right? And it's cutting off the entire river. What are you supposed to do? Ban Asol?
Maybe I don't know. I
Maybe.
don't know what this guy plays. I think I think they're gonna keep Rakan away from Jensel, and I think that's good
I
for
think so.
Grizz.
I think so.
But I think Jensel needs to find a different support that is a little bit more has a little bit faster all in than the Taric
Uh-huh.
because late
Uh-huh.
game Taric, if you get blown up fast enough, you have to wait for the Taric ult to come down and give you that
Right.
invulnerability. And you and I only saw value out of it like one time.
Yep.
Oops. So we do have a spectator link. I was not fast on the draw.
We were just getting heated. That's all right.
Um, Let me give them my stream link. Oop. All right. You can't see the league chat right now, but there's a little bit
Uh
of banter. It's totally cool banter. We're showing
yeah.
each other's stream links.
Yeah.
Um, but Backlit said, "You guys are too friendly. I can't channel my rage."
That's great.
But yeah. I really quick. I'm gonna thank our sponsors, Cindy Lou's Barbecue in Cedar Falls and Gosling and Company PC. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and click on our merch link down below. There's sweatshirts, sweatpants, t-shirts, jerseys. You can customize if you want to support us. That'd be a great way to do it, especially with Christmas coming around the corner.
All right.
But yeah,
We'll have to stay here. Yeah.
welcome UMT Grizz viewers. Anyone who has clicked and joined, hello.
Hello.
I think going into this game too, I think UNI needs to think a little bit more about what they're. We said this already, but in case you missed it, I think they need to focus a little bit more on their bot lane and figure out what's going on with that, and maybe focus a little bit more on what's going on with UMT Grizz's top side of the map. That
Mm-hmm.
Cassante was out of control that game, and I think a big part of it is just how strong Cassante is right now.
Yeah. Um. So many of those fights was just Cassante living through all of it and then surviving through and then able to chase down and pick off the remaining members of UNI. Even though he was chunked down, he was not slowing down that whole time.
Yeah. So we are going to be moving into bans now. Uh, Wonder what we're gonna see. I hope we see.
I wonder if they're gonna if Griz is gonna keep with the I was gonna say with the Ziggs and Corki ban.
I'm wondering. I don't know though. Okay, so I think UNI does not need to prioritize an Aurelion Soul ban because we did see that backlit did not have, for the most part, too hard of a time forcing the Aurelion out of
Right.
fights. I think the
Uh-huh.
issue was the Cassante was just so oppressive to
Mhm.
anybody he decided to get his Notofus, I think what they're called, on. And a lot of times it happened to be backlit Syndra. Whoever he gets onto, he's so sticky and just really, really hard to get off, and he does so
Yeah.
much damage, and he's so hard to kill. So I think a ban for the Cassante might be a good call by UNI. But if they don't, they're gonna have to do something way differently than they did last game because it's just not gonna work again.
Most definitely. Um, if they do let the ban through, who do you think? Who's a good counter for Cassante? Top.
Uh, Urgot. You ever play Urgot versus
Urgot.
Cassante?
I have not actually. That's
Um,
crazy. I
it's
haven't played
pretty,
Urgot in too long.
it's pretty good because
Really.
Cassante loses half of his health when he ults.
Ah, it's true. It's very true.
Now the Garen versus Cassante matchup used to be way one-sided towards Garen. All right,
Really.
it's not half of his ult health when he ults. It's a little bit less than half now because before they, as soon as Cassante would ult, Garen would just ult and then it would be over. But
Yeah.
it's still pretty good for the Garen, in my opinion at least, because you
All
can't stop
right.
the Garen out of his spin. And
Looks
that
like you and I did ban Cassante here.
And it looks like Griz is going to go ahead and pick up the Rakan.
Yeah.
Looks like they knew that they could get away with getting the Rakan in this pick order here. They do draft first. And I'm
Mhm.
interested to see what UNI is going to respond with. They do pick away the Maokai, maybe. They're hovering it. See, yeah, they do take it away.
I
Interesting
think it's
calls. I like it.
I like the Maokai pick. It's just so much utility and so much support for your team.
Yeah. Those Maokai ults, uh, I don't know if I'd say they're like fight
Oh
changers.
yeah,
I mean, like they're
yeah.
fight changers, but you just can't move out. Like it's so much.
It's
It's gonna root somebody in these huge
ah,
fights, and we are gonna see you and I go with the Zaya in this game too. I think that's a good call. Um, it's interesting. I think that's a good call because if Nick went with Jin, that would be leave him open to a lot of shenanigans from this
yeah,
Rakan and now this Orianna.
yeah,
It's interesting. So Orianna is very good right now, but she's not like broken.
yeah.
I was looking at it actually earlier today. She's got so worldwide and above Emerald, she's got like 240,000 matches played, which is like 100,000 more than the next most popular mid,
Next,
which is
mhm.
like Syndra. But Oriana is sitting at like almost a perfect 50% win rate. So, as annoying as it might be to play against her sometimes, I think she's relatively balanced. If you're looking at straight win rate.
Yeah.
But we'll see what UNI ends up responding with
Wow.
as they do go with the Renata Glass Xayah combo in the bot lane versus the Rakan Tristana. Interesting.
I was gonna say it's kind of an interesting Renata pick right now. Not knowing Grizz's jungler and top laner quite yet.
Yeah, but I think they are trying to prio the uh the mid and top
Yeah.
picks here. They don't care who Grizz's jungle is so long as they can counter pick in mid or top. I think
Mhm.
is the idea. Because Grizz picked first, which means UNI picks last. So we're gonna see whether UNI sends mid pick to last pick for the counter pick, or sends top pick
No,
for the counter
I was
pick.
gonna say I don't think it's got to be the top pick last, right?
You'd think so, but at the same time, Drummond goes Ornn pretty much every game, every week. But they do
Mhm.
Grizz does ban away the Ornn.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wonder if we'll see something else like
Mhm.
Camille.
oh, oh, I thought you
What
were gonna say something else.
What did you think I was gonna say?
The dog.
Oh, the dog. Oh yeah.
The dog.
I don't know how that would go.
Me neither, but it is entertaining.
Yeah, that was funny that one week. Oh. The
Arrgh. That's an
dog.
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to pick Warwick right now. If UNI does decide to commit to that. I mean, what is it's like Olaf is a good counter.
To
To Warwick.
um,
A lot of true damage, some healing along with it.
Singed is a good counter.
Singed.
Yeah, because Singed has when he ults, he gives grievous wounds with his poison. Okay, so UMT Griz is gonna go with a Rel pick.
Interesting.
That is a Rel jungle. I don't know if you've played against Rel jungle, but it is a pain.
Rungle.
It's a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's so annoying to play against. And they're gonna go with the Olaf pick
Olaf.
to fight that Warwick in the top lane. So I'm interested to see what UNI is gonna decide to go to fight the Orianna in the mid lane. What is Backlit gonna be picking? And what?
A rare Rungle. I don't know if I've ever seen a rail jungle, at least in my games before.
She's so fast. Her move speed is
Oh
is
yeah.
crazy. We're gonna watch her zoom all over the map.
That's crazy. The clear has to be terrible.
Okay, the
Level
Talia pick. I think
1
that's
through
good.
3.
I think UNI has a little bit of a weaker draft because of the Warwick pick
Mm-hmm.
and because I don't know. I feel like the Renata is not going to find as much value out of the Olaf.
Yeah.
And especially if Tristana W's away in time, won't find a ton of value in that. But we will see. Uh,
I
yeah.
was asking earlier. Sorry, how was Rel's clear? It's got to be like not fantastic. At least these first couple levels.
The first clear is kind of slow, but her strength
Yeah.
comes in how quickly she gets onto you.
Yeah.
Like she is deceptively fast. Because
Huh.
a lot of the time in bot lane, she's not on her horse and she's just kind
Right.
of walking back and forth on her legs. But in
Mhm.
jungle, you hop on your horse and you gallop into a lane pretty quickly. I'm not admittedly super familiar with Rel's kit.
Right. I
Um,
get you.
I think Rel and Kiana are the only characters I have not played in the game. I don't intend to play either of them. But
Shadow Band.
I don't like either of those characters. I don't like playing against them.
Mhm.
I don't really like playing with them.
I've played Rel a couple times. I like the character, but yeah, I definitely see your point of it in lane. You're dismounted almost constantly because you're getting a little bit of poke. You're using your Q on minions and so forth, but zooming around in the jungle. I'm just taken aback. I've never even heard of anybody going Rel jungle, so quite a feast for the eyes here.
Um, we'll see. I don't know. I think late game is gonna be interesting. Like, and by interesting I mean explosive with the Rel ults and
Mhm.
the Orianna ults.
Oriole
Yeah,
with Rakan there too to round it all out.
but I also know that Tristana late game can be kind of hit or miss, especially compared to Xayah late game. Um,
Right.
Tristana really requires a little bit more setup than Xayah. I mean,
Mm.
Xayah, to be fair, you're setting up her feathers for a really good E, but at the same time, you don't need to land that E to do as much as you possibly can with Xayah. I mean, yeah, you do, but But with Tristana, what I'm getting at is Tristana's not going to do as much damage compared to Xayah because she's going to need to be using her E. And
And sticking to it.
yeah. I think
I think a big factor for UNI here is going to be, we've seen so many of these when Backlit was playing Talia, I think a lot of these objective problems being like a lot of jungle fights are going to go well for UNI, because that Talia, the stones on ground or whatever it's actually called,
yeah.
So much area denial. Mixing a Maokai with it, like, I think a lot of these fights are going to go a lot better for UNI.
Yeah, and Talia does have a lot of pushing power with her Q, the throw a bunch of rocks ability. We'll see.
We need to start naming all of the champion abilities here.
Yeah. Tristana's abilities: boom, jump.
Yep, boom, jump.
E is just
boom, get away
it's
from
just
me.
bomb. Yeah, and ult is like, boom, get away from me. I like that. What would you call Renata's ult? She like sends a pheromone that makes you hit your friends.
The family get together, everybody's at each other's throat. That might hit a little too close to No.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think Rakan is gonna find a lot of value for Griz.
I mean, we were talking, it's got to be pick or ban, and Griz realized that the second they had that first pick opportunity. They're going for it, and I completely agree with that pick.
Yep, but we are going to be transitioning into the spectator delay, so we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Lead
Alright. And we're back in the load screen. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm curious to see.
This top
How-
lane is gonna be a bloodbath. I'm just saying it right now. I don't know what side it's gonna be for, but they are gonna be smacking the crap out of each other all game.
Constantly. Oh, I can't. I'm all here for it.
We see Griz immediately pinging UNI's top tri-bush. Someone went over there and pinged it, so we'll see if anyone's gonna go there straight away. UNI gonna be sending out. I think they're gonna be doing the 5-point like they do every game. And maybe getting a little bit of poke damage out in mid lane here. Maybe not. UNI not happy that Griz is taking this pixel brush. Griz puts a ward in it. We'll see. I think the level 2 advantage is for Griz, UMT Griz. The bot lane, Rakan is going to hit level 2 and probably immediately jump Zaya.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll see. I think all Gensel has to do is keep his... I think he's going to start Q. He hasn't picked an ability yet, but I think all he's going to do is keep his Q and make sure... Maokai, Destroy Dude, getting a little bit of a deep ward on the Rel here. That's going to be huge, these Raptors. So, I don't know if you know this about Rel Jungle, but Gabe put in the Twitch chat that it is disgusting her Raptors, like, into a gank is probably her biggest strength.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting. She can go over the wall, and it really messes people up. See you and I give a leash really quick. And UMT Griz. Rel's gonna be doing her red buff a lot faster than than Maokai does his blue buff. As he's starting his Gromp, she's gonna be finishing up her Krug. It's interesting.
She's pretty darn healthy. I was not expecting that.
Let's see UMT Griz getting the level 2 advantage on UNI. Rakan goes for the knockup. Nick flashes out of it. As I said, Rakan gonna be going on that Zaya straight away. Nothing going on in mid except for some poke, but none of the poke seems to be landing.
No.
Top lane.
Now this is where it's at.
Top lane it seems that they've hit each other a little bit.
A gentleman's brawl.
Oh, there's nothing gentle about these men in this top lane. This is a dog versus a warrior. I'm going to pretend I did not see that cannon get missed.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rel is pinging on her way top right now. She does have her red buff on her, leaving her blue. Okay, so Warwick is going to find a... He wins this. I'm pretty sure he wins this.
Yeah.
She knows, she walks away. And that's going to be her speed, like her lead on tempo, is going to be gone. Now Destroy Dude is a little bit faster on his clear. She is still not taking either of her camps. She's going for the back-to-back gank here, and this Drumming Gamer's not expecting it. She flashes on to Braden, and he's not going to be able to do anything but flash to use his fear on the Olaf. He's doing a great job. He wins that. That's going to be 2 kills on the Warwick straight away.
Sanity.
That's what you need to do as the Warwick top. You need to look for where you win those fights, and you need to push that advantage hard, because if you don't push that advantage hard now, Olaf is just going to mop the floor with you at level 6.
Later.
And red buff wears off. She hasn't taken her Gromp or her blue.
Yeah, it has to cover top, soak up some of this XP and gold. Wow. Well, and that's where that barrier comes into play in a huge part. I'll shut up for real quick.
A little bit of a... Okay, so the work ground comes up by backlip. Is that called work ground? It's called unraveled earth. My bad. After you Q, it makes worked ground on Tilia. He does it so Orianna has no way of getting out, and she does have to flash out as Maokai comes in for the gank. With his flash, he's blown it. Meanwhile, UMT's bot lane is backing. It looks like Rel got a back off already, and I did not notice it. She got her boots. And by a back off, she died.
No. Still. Oh, backing off again here.
Griz
Comes
did pick up they picked up a kill on Rel at some point. I don't know what happened there.
We
and
look at scores here real quick.
yeah,
Just,
Team Lick Tristana won and Rel 0-1.
Oh, Renata. Sorry, you were saying Rel.
Yeah,
It's
my
like,
bad.
I was like,
Renata,
whoa.
Renata. Jensel looking for a little bit of a gank here. I don't think UMT spotted him. Their vision down here is pretty dark. And he's going to be giving up as Orianna walks up. Unfortunate timing. He's got to get back to lane though. And he sees both of UMT's bot lane.
Yeah, this recon pressure is only going to get worse as the game goes on here.
Yeah. So is this Warwick pressure, dude. He's got this Sheen
true.
already. Oh, but Kronk, I think that's his name. On Olaf, he rushes the Executioner's Calling, which is really smart to do against the Warwick, but it messes up your tempo a lot, so he is gonna be finding he has a longer time before he power spikes. And Backlit is gonna be looking for a little bit of a roam up here on this Olaf as he gets back to lane. They're not gonna go for anything because there's no camps up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's too much of a time sink here.
Rel is going to be going for this early Drake here. She did back. She did pick up her bomb, these Cinders. She is going to be clearing a little bit faster. Meanwhile, bot lane, UMT find the pick on Renata. And I think UNI's just got to sack this Drake here. I think Nick wants to push this really quick and back off. Top lane, Destroy is looking to punish the Rel a little bit and take some camps. I think that's a good choice.
Mm-hmm. Can't see the overlay at the top. How are our gold values looking? Yeah, pretty. I was gonna say they have to be like almost dead even here.
Yeah. UNI does have a little bit like a 200, 150 gold lead. Not too much. Okay, so
I love that cue.
Olaf does hit 6. These guys are duking it out a little bit more here. We see the ghost come out. Olaf also coming out. Oh, okay!
Oh.
He lived with like 1 health.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Crazy.
Even through the unstoppable, I thought Olaf had it cinched there for sure, but
Yeah, he used his barrier.
yeah, that lethal tempo just puts in so much work on Warwick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have healing cut on you because you auto so many times with that fully proc lethal tempo.
Uh-huh.
So I think what UNI needs to look for this game, they need to look to end earlier because if they let the Orianna scale up, it's going to be tough. I mean, they do have the advantage with the Xayah scaling and with the Talia scaling, but once it gets to late game, Warwick's going to be pretty useless. Just because of how it is, he's not great in a team fight. Okay, so Rel is going to be going for the cheeky alcove gank. Does end up hex flashing in. They do find the pick on Renata. UNI finding the E, or the ult Xayah E on the Rakan there, not able to pick up the kill. Rel going in under turret a little bit, this has gone on long enough that Maokai can come in here for the counter gank. Backlit is looking to roam with Talia, probably going to use the Weaver wall or whatever to ult down. They are going to find the pick on the Maokai. It looks like, no, the Maokai flashes away. Or not Maokai, the Rel flashes away.
Yeah, and Backlit's just a little bit too late here for the fun.
Unfortunate for UNI.
That was a fantastic ult by Nink. Right as the Rel ult was coming to, Rel ult was coming to fruition. Got a lot of dodges out there, and Rakan was Wing at the same time.
Yeah.
So great ult by Nink there.
Yeah, and he was able to get he recalled his feathers and rooted the yeah, it is called Weaver's Wall until he rooted the Rakan under his turret under UNI's turret, but it wasn't able to kill him, unfortunately. Meanwhile, top lane, these two are still duking it out. Both going with he goes with the Bramble. I think that's pretty smart. I think he learned.
I like it.
Were you casting with me a few weeks ago versus that Fiora?
Mm-hmm.
I think he learned his lesson and
Build the Bramble early.
knows when to build that Bramble early, and he's decided to do it versus this Olaf. That's a great choice. So really, basically, I think that makes him have the advantage in the trades because even though he doesn't have as much AD as the Olaf, it doesn't matter because they both have their healing reduced, and Warwick gets a little bit more healing with the Q and with the Warwick passive. But UNI are going to be going for a Rift power play.
Looks like a little chicanery going down here.
I think this is intentional so that they can get the Rift and distract the jungler. But they are going to send Maokai into Rel's jungle here. See if they can find anything on Griz. They are not able to. I think because Griz just has vision. They saw everything that was going on. I don't know. I
Both
think
bot laners are alone here.
both supports are a little bit far away from home.
Yeah. Top lane, Rakan and Rel are trying to sneak up. Looks like
they are. UNI UNI doesn't know. Look at this. This is UNI's vision. They have no idea that the Rakan and the Rel are top lane. Drumming is going to be dealing with this crashing wave here, but I don't think that there's. I don't know if this is there's a play here. We'll see.
Bait. Yeah, no, this is.
I don't know. This has got to be bait. Drumming, don't take the bait. No, Rel flash ults in, and Rakan W ults in. Drumming fighting for his life. There's nothing he can do, and a 600 gold shutdown goes to Olaf. Maokai ult coming in to try to save him, but that is unfortunate. Really well played by Griz there, coordinating and getting that bait off on Drumming.
Yeah, that slow creep up through the bushes was maniacal.
I'll tell you, I think I would not have expected them to come out of this bush. But if I were Warwick, I would have noticed that their Rel was missing and the Rakan was missing.
I was gonna say,
I can't say whether or not it would have fallen for the bait, but what I'm saying is even if you were to back up, it would have saved you from this gank, but also from like this gank or even this gank. So
right.
It's just the nature of top lane. You know, you've got to go for those.
Low.
You
Yeah,
gotta
go
for
it sometimes. Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to be careful because nobody ever comes top, and that is people know that about top, so you can abuse that and get those ambushes down. And speaking of ambushes, we are going to be having Griz collapse on UNI on this 4v3, turning it into a 4v4 here as UNI follows up. Gensel goes down on the Renata, and Griz is able to just walk away from it. Orianna ult really screwed up UNI there. Didn't matter that Gensel used his ult, and the only way that Nick survived on Xayah was because he ulted.
I think it would have gone a lot worse if Gensel didn't get off the ult when they did, but still not a favorable outcome for UNI here.
Yep. We are going to see UNI call in the Rift Herald in the mid lane, get a little bit of a gold injection to Backlit here as he gets those plates. Backlit going to be rotating to the Drake here as Orianna has to deal with that, but she's not dealing with it. She's just letting it die.
Boy,
the
it's looking a little low.
Okay, so we're going to see the Olaf teleport down here. Warwick is walking down here. UMT, this is a 4v4 here. As Olaf ult goes down. Oh my god, that Olaf Q.
Oh my gosh.
But Warwick is here to turn the fight. This is now UNI's fight to win as Griz is running away from this Warwick. I don't know if you want to keep going
got
for this
one thing on mind. Yeah,
okay, so he goes for the ult. He lands it on the Orianna. They are able to find the pick on the Olaf, and they do find the pick on the Orianna as well. So
big synergy right there with the
score a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. The bloodbath.
I think we've only seen a small preview.
For a total of 14 kills at 14 minutes in, there's been about a kill a minute this game. It's a little bit different to last game. But I think UNI want that as they do pick the Warwick and look for this game. So he didn't die, he backed, and I want to point this out to anybody watching. This is smart. He doesn't need to sit in base in his fountain and heal. He can just run back and heal up. So he's just going to be using his healing potential to just come back to lane and start applying pressure.
Man, those Olaf
Qs are hitting like a truck.
Yeah, they are. That Olaf Q over by Drake hit 3 members of UNI and chunked down for so much damage.
I think it's because Olaf was already using his abilities and getting his Conqueror stacked. So it looks like Drumming might be falling for another bait up here in the top lane.
Yeah, looks like it.
And Destroy is right around the corner, so if Griz does something, it has to be fast. Look at how long Aurel is sitting here. She loves to do this. This is 2 times now. She sat in his lane, top lane, for like 20, 30 seconds. That's fan behavior if I've ever seen it myself, Mike. He's backlit, going for a little bit of a roam on the Talia. He can afford to do that. He's got 30 farm on the Talia, or excuse me, 20 farm on the Orianna. And he's got Mythic and parts of it, of his next item.
Looks like bot lane, Rakan is hopping around. Was out of vision for a while. Looked like trying to make something happen, but...
Yeah, they really want something. Both teams really want something to happen.
Yeah.
I think UNI right now want something to happen a little bit more than Griz, as like they've been sitting in this jungle up here for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the Weaver's Wall from Talia, backlit by Stars. They're going to be cutting off Olaf. There's no escape. He does die, using his ult to try to survive. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, they do find the Rel out of position. She's running through UNI's jungle. We do see UNI, backlit by Stars, use his TP to meet up in the bot lane. He is everywhere on this map. And I don't think they're going to find any picks here.
Maokai and Drumming, they're taking...
That's smart. That's going to be second refill for UNI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, how did he know? We'll go back and watch it. But right now, the Rel ult, the Rakan ult, and the Renata Glasgow coming out. Tristana
like
going on
Gentle.
Renata. Oh, Gensel's going to be caught too. Not quite.
Oh,
but here comes Nink with the Xayah follow-up. Is Rel going to be chasing over the wall here? The baits are too strong on UNI tonight. There's Feathers Fly. Oh. That was an interesting flash from Nink there.
Yeah.
Maokai ult coming down.
Gonna be Destroy.
Okay, so they find a pick on the Rel, so they trade.
Yeah, one.
Trade backlit for. I don't think that's worth though, because backlit had a bounty. So I want to roll this back here, and I just want to look at backlit's vision. I don't know how he knew this was the case, but so this is UNI's vision. And remember, we know that the fight's gonna go down in this bush. And he decides to just cue that bush that they're in. I don't know how he decided to do that, and he does unfortunately die. But you know that could have saved his life. Mike, how do you think he knew to do that?
Well, if we at the beginning of the play, it looked like he was just queuing bushes. I think you and I just saw like, where are these guys at? We were just fighting in the jungle not too long ago. They've got to be somewhere close. Maybe just on the way to mid, checking the bushes, but...
Yep, and UNI are going to be sending Olaf a present from Talia and Warwick here. Talia does have to blow her flash to survive that Olaf, as he used his ult and was just able to run through the knockaway and the E.
I was gonna say, Griz sees that Backlit's top, Drumming's top.
Oh man, Destroy
for the Drake.
Melted. That's going to be a second Drake for... it's going to be second Drake for Griz. Are they going to be able to not die on the escape here? It looks like they are going to be just fine.
No.
I just heard...
That's great, just her sitting there.
Yeah. Right now, UNI does have a little bit of an advantage at 3,000 gold. But they are down one Drake. And they do have, but they also have a turret, so we'll see. They've got 2 turrets on Griz, so I don't know. Warwick's got to do a good job. Huh?
Warwick's been leaving lane in a lot of these fights, and Olaf's been staying, so that tower's pretty chunked down here.
Yep.
He's gonna have to rotate back if he wants to save it.
Yep. And that's I was just about to say that he's got to do a good job protecting his turret, because giving that inch to Olaf could be bad, because he could go ahead and take a mile, but we'll see what ends up going on. Okay, so he does go with the Divine Sunder Warwick. Nothing out of the ordinary yet.
Yet, keyword.
Yeah. I didn't realize Tristana does have a little bit of a bounty at 150 gold. She's got some kills on her. Might be painting herself as a target for UNI. Rel looking top again, though. Look, as
He loves his top lane.
UNI have no idea. Drumming, getting caught by this Rel. Is he going to be able to make it away? Yes, he is. He's just going to use his ult away. Meanwhile, backlit by Stars is going to TP top to try to help him out here. Good teamwork by UNI, responding to that gank from Rel. That's the best thing you can do versus the Rel.
Yeah, just throw some numbers in there into the equation.
Cause she's not like BS like Cassante is.
Yeah. Ori is bot at the
man.
moment too.
Big pick by UNI, finding a big pick on the Recon. A little bit more gold, trying to increase that gap. And I said big pick, but it's not really that big. It's a pick by UNI.
UNI looking to get something done mid. As Ori and Tristana back.
UNI chasing Rel through the jungle. Meanwhile, top laners having a little bit of a stare down, realizing what's going on in the jungle.
What
Maokai
a great cut.
finding the Rel here.
Here comes Gentle Nick, but Griz is on their way.
Yeah, team fight gonna be going down in the jungle here as Maokai is going around, finding the ult, landing it on Orianna and Rel. Orianna ult going down, Xayah dodges it. Olaf ult going down, Warwick fighting for his life, but he dies. The Renata ult going through. Isn't gonna find too much here. Jensel's gonna be dying here, backlit by Stars, saving
Jensel's
Jensel.
alive!
Yeah, he does W himself, backlit saves him. Meanwhile, the Olaf ult is still going. He's been hitting people the entire time. Oh my god. He just got like 3 kills. Yep, 3 kills with that. That's insane.
Yeah, that whole time, Drumming unfortunately was really in a bad position there, coming from topside, just trying to fight off almost 3 people at once. Wow, look how low.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And just like that, actually, the score is even, but UNI is still ahead in gold by about 1,700.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
We gotta see
Instead,
what Griz is able to do with it.
Olaf is taking the fast track here. Exactly what you want to see as an Olaf. Getting some kills under your belt. I don't think he's quite to the level of outscaling Drumming here quite yet, but
yeah, well, what I
it's
think
gonna be pretty soon.
what we didn't talk about is that nobody on UNI had heal cut except for Warwick. So once
That's also true.
once Drumming went down, it was pretty much Olaf's fight to win. As Griz finds a pick on the mid lane turret and the top lane turret. They're closing that gold bleed that UNI has, just like they did last game. UNI needs to make a different set of moves this game, though. They need to be finding more picks on this top laner and looking for more objective plays after they do. Because finding the picks on the support over and over again is not going to be what you need. You need to find picks on the top. You need to find picks on the jungler. Even picks on the mid laner would be good. Maybe some picks on the ADC, but there's too much playmaking potential from the Rel. There's too much playmaking potential from the Olaf.
Ooh, backlit TP'd bot. Let's see if Olaf will follow here.
Olaf's going to be going for this top turret.
Say, yeah,
trading the top turret for the Drake. He's got his TP up though, so you're right. He might be coming over.
Well, and look mid too.
Oh yeah, they're going to be going for 2 turrets on UNI. I think that's going to be a better trade for Griz than UNI. We will see though. As Griz are sending 3 members to continue the push in mid lane, UNI is just going to have back right here. I think this is not good for UNI. I don't really know what's going on.
Looks like Griz is rotating over. I don't think they're quite posing for Baron so much as just kind of escaping through, but.
Yep, so UNI... Griz doesn't know where most members of UNI are. UNI knows that all of Griz are behind here somewhere. They don't know that they're backing. UNI trying to find a pick on the Rel, but she's just too tanky. And as we move out of the mid game and towards the late game here, we're gonna find a lot less use for this Warwick. I'm like, he's gonna be good still,
Yeah.
like for the solo picks every now and then, but he's not gonna be really too helpful in the team fights. And as far as splitting goes, I think he should be looking for it, but he's got to be careful.
Yeah, as look at Rel. Rel loves this top lane.
And so does Rakan. UNI gonna be ganked again. They don't see that there are 3 members of UMT Griz up here.
Well, actually, Drumming did see Rel and Rakan from the Maokai sapling.
Yeah, just for a second. I think that was enough for him, because he may have learned his lesson this game. Hopefully he has.
Yeah.
UMT Griz, they're looking for a Baron play here. UNI is gonna spot them with that zombie ward. Not gonna... Are they gonna go for it? Yeah, they're gonna start it.
Yeah,
the Griz starting this Baron here.
They do not need Olaf.
UNI knows no better. I mean, like, they know now. They see him. Bot lane, they're gonna be trying to find this Olaf. Meanwhile, it's a 3v3, 3v4 here at the Baron. Rakan ult going down, and same thing with the Renata ult. Xayah ult to not get killed. Drumming doing his best to survive. He is gonna survive with like 1 health. And Jensel's trying to DP, or excuse me, Nick's trying to DPS with Jensel's support, but look at the damage from the Xayah. That's the value that we're talking about with the Xayah pick in these later fights. She was able to just stand here, like where this fruit is, and shoot up the river and get a lot of value while Drumming tanked a couple people as Warwick. He is going to be sniffing out this Rel here. Zoning her away. I think that UNI needs to be a little bit more proactive and go for this Baron now while they can. We will see if they decide to do it though. They're all kind of low.
Can we take a look at sums on the sides here? Just
Yeah.
want to see if Olaf got the TP up or not.
Olaf does have TP up.
Okay. Might back, buy an item TP in here.
Oh, he is TPing into that ward right now. Rakan finding the knockup on Nick.
Oh, Nink is barely alive.
Oh no, here comes the Olaf ult. He's just wailing on the Warwick. Now he was trying to wail on the Maokai. The Olaf's ult is over. This is UNI's fight to win, except for the Orianna ult on 3 members of UNI. Down goes Jensel, and it's just gonna be Destroy Dude and Destroy Dude and Backlit trying to do anything there, but they decide not to and to just reset and go for another fight. Someone on UMT Griz is pinging bot, push bot, push bot. We'll see what happens though. I don't know.
I don't know. It's. I think that was a really good call by UNI. Just try and run away, wait out that Olaf ult, but then there was an Ori ult waiting for them. But I think that's how they're gonna win these team fights. We can try and do some damage to him while he's ulted in his rage, but I think the best call would just be to try and wait it out the best you can and dive him, go for him straight after.
Gold is going to be pretty even here. Both teams pretty close to each other in terms of gold. Looks like Griz is up by about 300 gold. There is a little bit of a scuffle forming in the bot river around this Drake here. UNI has to clear this ward out. They don't know it's there. Jensel might find it in a sec. Jensel didn't see this ward, so we'll see how that comes into play later, probably.
Did you see that interaction with the Rakan W not knocking up Drumming there?
No. What happened? Was he? It was probably because he was holding Q.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he held that Q. Yeah, that ward has not been spotted.
Yep. So if UNI decides to start this Drake, Griz is gonna know immediately. So Griz knows that UNI has aggroed the Drake. Griz's vision in both of the bushes here. Griz knows that they're just baiting it too. So the fight's going to be going here.
And
is going to be a 5-on-5. Talia is in position to split the fight up with the Weaver's Wall. A crazy good Talia ult as Tristana is cut off. The Renata ult coming down. But the Olaf is just wailing on UNI. Olaf goes down. The Drake goes down for UNI. Oh.
it is still up. Oof.
I think that was good for UNI.
I think so too.
Both teams lost 2 people, but UNI came out with the Drake, so
And the shutdown, the 800 gold shutdown went to NECC there.
Oh, right, yeah.
Mhm.
UNI needs to look for Baron now.
I think a lot of what this game is going to turn into is going to be NECC trying to do damage to this Olaf rushing in, because I don't know if anybody else really has the damage to deal with him.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, auto for auto, and nobody else can, like, tango.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Take a look at UMT's vision really quick here. They don't know where any of UNI are, but UNI also don't know where any of UMT are. They're going to find some wards really quick. We'll see that. UNI has more wards to clear out here, as 4 members of UMT Griz are going to be stacking up on this Drake, or excuse me, this Baron. Olaf's teleport is not up for another 20 seconds, so if UNI need to jump, like, they should pull the trigger now, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Right.
But UMT knows that. They are not positioning far enough forward for UNI to do anything, so they're just chilling.
Just slowly clearing wards, regaining some vision here.
I think this could be a little bit of a misplay by UNI, as
Yeah.
Backlit does not have his TP up, and Maokai is down here as well. The Olaf ult goes out, and the Olaf Ghost goes out. He's going to be running down Maokai. There's nothing that he can do to survive. Yeah, you can blow that ult, but it's not going to help you, as Olaf just beats them both to death. That CC immune is still going up. He sat on his W. Backlit was really smart, but Olaf still finds the pick with that axe, and with that pick, UMT is going to be able to find Baron here on all 5 members, which is really, really dangerous for UNI. As Drumming does get caught by the Orianna ult into the Rakan WR over the wall here. Rel Hex flashing over. Renata coming up to try to save him. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
bot lane.
your play was spot on there. It was the second they saw destroy bot, Griz just went directly onto that Baron.
So it honestly didn't even matter if Olaf won the 1v2, because his team was going to get Baron. So he is right now having his ult up again. He's just going to be going straight into UNI. Warwick having to run for the hills. Warwick using his ult, missing. Rel ult following up immediately. Going to be finding the pick on Drumming Gamer. Interesting choice.
I really think that NECC is going to be there as UNI's only chance here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a NECC trying to use the most of Maokai until he is area denial.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Alright, my mouth is very dry. I need to get a drink of water. If you're UNI right now, Mike, what do you do?
What do I do? First, wait out the Baron. Second, I don't know. It's easy to say send somebody to a side lane, try and get some pressure there, try and get some minions built up, but with Rel and Rakan just all over the map, it's kind of hard, especially now that all these turrets are down. There's not a lot of vision in their own jungle, so they can be waiting for a pick here at any time.
It looks like they're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
As 3 members of, oh my god, just vaporized.
Yeah.
UNI having to walk into their own jungle. They have no vision.
Look at that
Griz.
Ori ult cooldown. Look at it's almost a fourth of the way there already.
It's a 57-second cooldown right now. UNI
Yeah.
are down about 4,000. Yep, a little bit more than 4,000 gold here. Gonna be tough for UNI as they're walking into just warded jungle, just warded territory.
And that's all that Griz is playing about right now. They're loving this vision battle.
Oh no, Backlit is gonna be running straight into the Rel, but she doesn't go commit to it. She gets away here.
Yeah.
As this Drake is spawning. This is soul point for UNI. UNI really want it, but there's not much they can do as Olaf, the enemy is at the gates top lane. That's Talia ult splitting the fight down here. Rakan getting stuck in Talia's E. Huge play by Backlit. Destroy doing his best to try to stop it, but ends up getting Orianna ulted And Rel ults the CC chain on Backlit and destroyed there was crazy. Backlit gonna be going down
That's
to Rel, I
Gensel.
think. Yeah, Gensel protects.
Gensel saved Nink.
Yeah, Nick was able to kill people there. Backlit does end up going down. Rel is going to
My
continue to be
lord.
the Drake here, as
My
Olaf
lord.
Olaf during that whole time was able to get the pick on the Warwick. He's going to be taking the inhib turret and the Nexus turret, and the inhib as well. Now he's going to be going for a second inhib.
Look at that attack speed.
That's crazy.
Red team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
I mean, as UNI at this point, I think the only fighting chance is Pit, Nink, up with a couple people against Olaf, and Destroy cannot be there for it. Destroy keeps showing on the map on the opposite side of these objectives, and Griz keeps seeing that and just taking them for free. There's no contention.
I think you're right. I think if I were drumming right now, I would hide out of vision a little bit while my team shows up to the objective. I'd wait for Olaf to commit to the split, and then I'd go out and stop him. But I'd be like, guys, I'm going to stop Olaf. You need to engage on their team right now, because I can only hold the Olaf for so long. Like, he beats me because he's 6, or excuse me, he's got his ult. So I don't know. It's a tough position to be in.
Definitely gonna be an uphill battle here.
UNI having to deal with crazy amounts of vision from Griz this game. Rel has just been lurking in bushes all game.
I mean, you've got the perfect
Okay,
opportunity
so
to
the
do it.
engage comes out. Rakan finding the ult on a bunch of members of UNI. Rel also finding the ult. Renata ult going down. Zaya ult trying to live. Oh, Nick is way too deep in here. Nick is gonna die. Warwick trying to smell some members of Griz, chasing down the Tristana. Tristana ults him away. Talia ult tries to save him, but UNI has to stop. They've got to deal with the Olaf sieging their base right now. As he finds another inhibitor turret and another inhib. He might even find a Nexus turret. Okay, there's the Olaf ult. He's just gonna be running straight past the Warwick. No, yeah, there it is. He knows he needs to kill the Talia, but he still lived a lot longer than I thought he would.
No kidding. Yeah, I think if drumming sets up instead of destroy, he's got a much better fighting chance against the Olaf rather than the Maokai pitted up against him like we've seen that UNI tried to do here.
What do you mean?
So there were a couple times where it was Backlit and Destroy trying to take on the Olaf rather than drumming, who can not quite go toe-to-toe, but will live a lot longer in a fight and do a lot more damage than a Maokai would. Ooh.
Okay, the Orianna ult gonna be finding Gensel, but he's not gonna be dying. Maokai ult gonna be going down, but it's not gonna get there soon enough to find a pick. UNI used a very important ult there. The Maokai ult is gonna be up in 40 seconds. Here as Rakan finds an RW on, okay, the Warwick, but jumps out just as soon as he went in. UNI,
I mean, UNI's got to make something happen here.
They do, but I don't know how it's going to work out for them. It looks like they're baiting the Talia a little bit. I think this is a good call because Griz does not know. They're pinging assist on the Drake. They use the blue ward. They know all members of Griz are coming. The Weaver's Wall comes down, stops half of Griz. But Griz really wants it. The Renata ult coming through. Olaf using his ult, just beating people to death. Destroy doing his best to try to survive over there. But Rel ult is also going to be catching over here. Drumming ults over the wall with Warwick to try to live. It does not live. It's going to be 3 members of UNI with Baron. Their backs against the wall, but they're not out of this yet, Mike. This is crazy.
No, they're not going down without a fight here. We will have to see as Griz is coming towards this last Nexus turret.
Yeah, they know that it's a 5v3. They know that UNI do not have the Warwick. They do not have the Maokai. It is just the Renata to peel.
Ooh, gosh, look at that Ori damage there.
Yeah. Olaf is just pushing in the waves here. And they're just beating down on UNI's last turret. The Nexus turret is down.
Yeah, I think
and the Nexus is down. And that's going to be game 2 and the series for Griz. Unfortunate for UNI.
What a game. What a series here.
Unfortunate for UNI.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to give interviews this time.
Yeah, I think the last thing anybody wants is to be dragged in here and talk to us right now after.
Why'd you lose?
Yeah, look at that Olaf damage.
Yeah, that Olaf damage was insane. And it sucks too because I don't know. I feel like maybe the one thing you and I could have done differently is find somewhere to build more Grievous, but at the same time, you need to
Yeah, you're
prioritize what you need for your characters.
exactly,
So
exactly. Too
I don't
much
know.
commitment is a problem. Well, we kept talking about the Olaf all game, but Oriana was absolutely no joke.
Yeah, those
Like
Orioles turned
those
quite a few
Orioles,
fights.
oh my gosh! And even just like Ori Qs were chunking Jensel and Nink at the end there too.
But you hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but definitely some good games. Nothing. It wasn't too one-sided. Um, weren't seeing crazy leads. Like 38 kills to 2. It was everybody was fighting and everybody
Oof.
was trying their best here.
So I think a big issue with I don't know what the vision score. I didn't check the last time, but I think a big issue with this game is that if you look at the vision score on
Hmm.
Rakan, he's got 144, and Rel has, or excuse me, Renata has 95. I think
Well, how
that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, how many times were we watching that Grizz was really playing into the lack of vision that you and I had,
Yeah,
and just sitting in these advantageous spots, like on the way to Drake. Renata, they see Renata walking into the jungle, assuming she's going to go to the other lane, just catch her in the middle. It's an easy pick every time.
yeah, for sure. Anyways, I think that is gonna do it for tonight. I don't know, so um, this is the quarterfinals, so I think that's gonna be it for you and I. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it for you and I for this season for them. So maybe we do give them an interview. Hang on a sec. Because if that is their last game for the season, then I feel like we owe them an interview, even though they lost. I'm just talking to their coach really quick. But yeah, while we do have a second, if you guys do like Panther Esports, go ahead and scroll down to the merch button, click it. There's sweatshirts, shirts, beanies, and jerseys you can customize with your own name or gamer tag, whatever you want. And they come in a couple different styles, and they're a lot cheaper than regular like football jerseys. So it's a great Christmas gift for the Panther in your life, the gamer in your life this Christmas. But we'll see if we're gonna be having an interview in a minute or two here. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, Probably just talking things out with the team and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I feel like just to kind of fill the air here, I feel like the Olaf was a big problem, but I don't know. I think more than anything, you and I struggled with the disengage both games.
Mhm.
Is like, okay, we need to get out of here. I mean, it's a lot harder to disengage a Cassante than an Olaf.
Mhm.
But like when that Olaf is ulting, if you can do anything in your power and everything in your power to just get away until his ult is over and then turn around for the rest of the fight, you should do that. But I mean, it's hard when he has Ghost and he is stride breaking, slowing you down to make
Right.
it so you can't get away.
And his ult getting extended, he gets one kill, he just turns it into another and another.
hmm
It's rough. Well, and Drumming did a great job top. Um, it's just I think it's obviously a lot of it is just the matchup. There's a point where Olaf becomes too out of control. Um, and Olaf has a lot better, um, I would say, push potential like in a side lane than a Warwick does, with those axes and that true damage that you can get off on cannons and such. Um, so it's kind of hard for Drumming to match that pushing potential, um, of the Olaf that whole game.
Yeah, and it's just like there's only so much you can do. I feel like maybe there could have been a different draft decision other than the Warwick. Um, because Orin was banned. I don't know what else he could have picked.
Yeah, it's especially hard when you're trying to save. They were trying to save that last pick for backlit. Just
I feel like they should have given the last pick to Drumming, honestly,
yeah.
because every week Backlit doesn't exactly care or seem to care what the enemy team picks.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Um, I haven't heard anything. I think I'm just gonna call it.
Yeah.
So GG's, UMT Griz. UNI put up a good fight those games.
Mhm.
Sucks they lost. I'm pretty sure that's their last game because it does say it was the quarterfinals. So unfortunate they do have to end. I'm pretty sure they end their season on that. But I think until then they only lost like one series, maybe two. Um, anyways,
Yeah, definitely.
if
I
you
appreciate.
guys are watching or interested in some Overwatch tomorrow, I know Overwatch Purple and Gold. Um, I- actually, I not necessarily. Ooh. Okay, so we can get an interview. We're gonna interview Backlit. That's my choice.
All right.
We'll interview them for a couple minutes and then we'll end the stream. And yeah, so that is their last game of the season. So it sucks that it's got to end like that. But I think this is, and I'll double check when I interview them here. Um, I gotta drag them in, I think. Here we go. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, welcome. How are you feeling?
Uh, feeling. Uh, it was rough. There were some rough
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if you guys do this, but I actually cut the tip of my finger off last week or 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago. So I've been playing minus my pointer finger. So
Oh,
it's been rough trying to fix my champ pool around that, and I'm kind of annoyed by it.
I forgot about that because I knew last week you had that and injury. I didn't know what the injury was, but it didn't show so much that last week.
Yeah, I was able to pick champs I did a lot this week, like figuring out what champs I can play without issue, but like my champ pool was still very much limited by that,
wow.
which is annoying going into this series.
Yeah.
So my understanding is that this series marks the end of your guys' season, right?
It does.
So is this your first season playing with the team?
Yes, with the team, it definitely is.
Uh, what are some of your thoughts on the closing of the season?
Um, honestly, w- so I've played a lot of competitive league throughout like my years. I've playing competitive league for like 7 years now.
Mhm.
And like going into like this year, I had very low expectations. Um, but I thought we played like incredibly well, and like we improved so much as the year went on, and honestly had so much fun too.
Yeah,
So I was very happy with like how this season ended. Like obviously I wish we won, but like
Yeah.
yeah.
most of us are freshmen or first years here, so there's time.
Oh
There's
There's
yeah.
spring.
time.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
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 Nobody cares about winter anyway. Spring's the one that matters.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'll say for this series, I'm gonna ask you what are some things you feel like as a team you didn't do so well, or if you personally you didn't do so well, and then for a follow up, what are some things that you as a team did well?
Um, I think we played early games well, both games. I think we did a good job of getting leads and playing skirmishes well. I think our team fights and our late game rotations were definitely lackluster. I think we were definitely like late on some objective timings, and I know we fucked up one um in the first game. That was pretty bad. Uh but overall, and I don't think we had draft issues, but I think the champs that they picked to to counter us, we were not playing well into.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to call it like a draft div because it wasn't a
Right.
draft div, but like the draft, I think we were not playing it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say, oh, it's just broken. There's only so much you can do versus a Cassante like that.
Yeah, the Kasate one was that that one I might call it a champ div.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good series to watch. You guys put
Well,
up a
yeah,
fight.
I was gonna say, well, you've got to go on the other side of the coin now of what what you guys think went well and what you're looking to capitalize on maybe for the next season.
Yeah, well, as I said, I think we played our early games well.
Yeah.
I think recently, I think we could have changed the way we played, like just the game plan of the series in general. I think in our like last like 3 or 4 series, N- Nick Fury has been like popping off and carrying a lot of them.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we could have played to enable him more. Not that we didn't, but like honestly, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point.
No, no, it makes sense. Like the
Yeah.
first game, he did not have a great time on Vayne, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, was it his choice to go Vayne that game?
Not necessarily.
Okay,
We really needed someone to kill tanks, so
yeah,
we
Yeah.
had to force him on it. It wasn't like so no, it wasn't exactly his choice.
Yeah.
no, I mean it was tough. Like the Mike and I were saying, like Aurelion Sol takes up so much space, and so does Maokai with his ult. There's not a ton of like Vayne has to be so crazy careful to do anything in that.
Yeah.
Um,
We really needed someone to kill the Cassante and did not know where else to look.
Yeah.
Unfortunately so.
Well, they were great games to watch. I think everybody did a fantastic job, even though season is over. But those were very entertaining games. You guys did not go down easy.
Yeah.
yeah, I thank you for playing them. Thank you for the season. I hope to see. So you said you guys would all be back in the spring?
Um, at least 4 of us are going to be back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you guys in the spring. Hopefully cast for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to run it back.
Yeah,
Run it back. Yeah.
that's right.
New season, no mythics.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I've been playing with the mythics for so long. I feel so broken, but the chains will be
Yeah.
off.
No, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm ready to take a break and then get back to it.
All right. Well deserved.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you for the interview, and you have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
And everybody else watching, you have a good night. I started saying before, so Overwatch Purple and Overwatch Gold, or yeah, UNI Purple and Gold for the Overwatch team. They're going to be playing their, I think, I think they're quarterfinals. I don't know. It's like playoff games. So if they lose tomorrow, they're done. So come tomorrow, cheer them on like crazy. Do some Go Cats in the chat. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Uh, yeah, it's been Joe here with Mike.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Have a good night. Thank you.